Wednesday. I have our meeting on Wednesday at 3:00 where Kim and Tim, we're going to introduce Kim to the team and Tim to Kim. And what I'll do is have Natalie come on about half an hour into the meeting and give us a good overview of what we're doing. I can show, basically, I'm putting the documents up. You have a link now, so you should be able to get into them. I'm hoping you'll be able to, let me go get where the drive is. Let's see here. See if this is it. Share. Let me see if this is it. Well, this is yours. Anyway, I'm putting everything up there.
Right.
I should just go ahead and see if I can do it. Wait a minute. The
Right.
problem is that I'm not as, here it is, best your way. Okay, this is what I want. I want to go
So
back.
I've just started drafting things into Word documents and then
Yes.
hearing that we can then get them into that online form,
Yes.
document.
Let me
Yeah.
get up here, share. Mhm. Some days I'm smart, and some days I'm smarter. Okay. Now, how do I get back to full screen? That's what I always have trouble with, is getting to full screen. All right, stop sharing, and then that I can do it. All right, now I can share it again. Share. All right, let's see if this is doing. Yep, that's it. All right, so this is what the drive looks like. I'm going to go back to the top. Here's the top of my drive. All right, now what I've done is I've put together, and if I go under my drive, you can see I've got the Grand Canal, and I've given you access to all of this. So here's this is the list. These are articles, and
Right.
this list here is a list of all the links. It'll come up in a second. It's a list of all the links that I have that
Yeah.
go out to the different things, different Amondo, different
Yeah.
things where we've had talks and all, and a
Yep.
description. So you have all of that too to access. All right, so let me get it back. Go back up. Now that's, you see, I'm just learning how to use this. So I'm going to put this one down. And then what I've got next is in this document is also the grant requests. All right. So you've got the playbook, you've got the Sarasota estuary, the neighborhood, and that's where we are, is the neighborhood grant. And I'm storing all the documents in the neighborhood grant. All right, Phil, I need your map, your overview map of the neighborhood. Okay, you see,
I don't know what that is.
you had
I think
you
it's the
did
one-
go
I think
ahead.
I think it's the one I did. I think it's the one I did with the yellow dots. Yeah.
Well, that I need, but Phil, you had
Oh.
one you did with your, it looks like, what do you call it? A drone view.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, where you did a drone view of the neighborhood, high
Oh,
level?
the
Yeah.
video through that neighborhood?
Right, I want a picture of it, okay, of the neighborhood. Let me go back to this.
Oh, I can make a still out of one of the pieces of it there.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. All right. Anyway, I'm putting things in, I'm getting it organized. So when she comes on, she can give us instructions. I'm still having a challenge with editing. I'm replacing the documents when I get new ones rather than trying to edit or anything. But here's what, just quickly where I am. I've talked to Eric. He's excited about it. He's
Okay.
going to talk to some of the neighbors, and what we agreed to do, I'm going to do a letter. And I'm going to do it for two reasons. One, I want them to sign the letter saying that they want to get into this. This is what they want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And then that letter will be in our package. Okay, so that's, and the other reason I'm doing, so that I can talk to them. So I can leave it if I'm not there and talk to them about what we're doing. Eric's going to also talk to his neighbors all this weekend. He's got company now, but he's really excited about jumping on this. And he suggested that we also take a position that in doing this, we're trying to lessen the impact should we get red tide, because we're working to remove some of the nutrients that would cause it to go longer. So that's one of the goals that we will have. Now, again, it's not going to be in our grant going to Sarasota, but it's something we talk about and one of the outside benefits that we're looking for. Okay, so I'll prepare that letter when I get off the phone. I'll send it around. I'd like to get your input before I send it out. Okay. I've gotten back 9 people that have given me wonderful, want to do this. I'm in supportive of the project. And I've got 3 signatures. I've got Catherine and Joyce and Tim. They're going to give me a more detailed letter, tell them what I want, and they'll do me something different, but a little stronger. And then I've got Cindy and John who are installed that are giving me signed copies. Plus I'll have the neighborhood signed copies. So I've got at least 10 that are people just giving us the kind of comments and how pleased they are. And then I've got about 15 signed copies. So I think we're okay in that area. I mean, if we want 60, I think I could get 60 tomorrow, but I just don't want to go that far. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
all these people want to read. They
Yeah.
only have so much time to go
Yeah.
over all this.
But
Right.
there is something about some value. So 15,
Sure.
20,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to have close to 15 signed, all right,
Yeah.
with signatures. All the other ones will be emails with their addresses on them and their names and their addresses and the date and their comments. So there'll be about 10 of those. So it's 25, but I know I could go more if we need it, but I figured between 25 and 30 would be appropriate, right? I mean, I think that's a good number without
Yeah.
making it overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that takes care of that. And then the neighborhood is what I'm working on now to nail that down. So that has been my focus. All right, plus getting this drive set up. Let me see what else. I think that anything else? No, I can't think of anything else. So now I'm going to switch gears. So what I thought I'd get for you, Phil, is that picture with the drone camera, with your video. I'm just going to snapshot or grab one of the pictures out of the video and use it so they can see the area that we're talking about and why we're doing it. All
Yeah, I
right.
don't have a shot of the actual canal with that drone, but I have the houses
Yeah, the houses is perfect, but you
and
got
the
the water.
street
And
sign. So
yeah.
I
Wait,
see
didn't you
the
have one
water.
that was high level?
Well,
Right?
they're all, they're up about 12 feet, but
Right.
it's
So
not,
you see the water in the houses. That's
you
what I
can
want.
see, I
Yeah.
get one shot where you can see some water in the background. So
Okay.
yeah,
I saw the
houses blocked
streets.
everything.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's the point, was to say here, and the point I'm trying to make is I'm not showing your address. Okay. So I was looking at when you did the video, send me the video. I'll cut one out. I can cut one out.
Okay.
Okay. So that's just send me the video. As I said, I can stop it and cut the picture and use it in my letter. All right. Dave, you look puzzled. Does that sound all right to you?
No, that sounds fine. Yeah, I was having a hard time visualizing what you were talking about, but I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want them to see that we're not just we're not honing in on their house. We're doing the whole group,
Right.
to give them an idea of what we're trying to do there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and we do have to go over and look sometime. I'm a little concerned at how close we can get to that storm
Right.
drain. So
Right.
that's the only thing I'm concerned about how close we can get there.
Yeah, it would be good to get a little field trip to get over there. And
Yeah.
maybe meet with Eric if that were possible.
Yeah, and meet Eric. Everybody should meet Eric again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, really good guy. So that's cool. So next week will be better. His company is through this weekend. So
Yep.
next week will be good for that. But I'll take this weekend to go around, and he's making people aware that I'm going to do that. Okay, good.
I could do some underwater right around that drain too. That might be
So
some,
Yeah.
And when you come out, remind me to bring your t-shirts. Okay, your ocean habitat t-shirts. I've
Oh, yeah.
had them sitting here. I meant to bring them down when we met on Friday.
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, don't forget to bring our
I
t-shirts.
forgot. Okay, don't let me forget. You guys will be different. You'll be different than I am, but we all have the same ocean habitat. So when we go out, we'll match everybody.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, so, all right, where are we? So Dave, did you want to go over your schedule again? What you just sent out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I can kind of give an overview of it. And then I think these documents, we each need to
Is this it here?
take time to read through a full set of them.
Mhm.
So, I may have gotten carried away, right? I've written a lot of like proposals in my life. So I kind of have a approach that I do when I write this, and maybe I got carried away, but this is the way I took it. So
I didn't see any spelling errors. That's good.
Oh, we could fix.
Yeah.
That's the least of our worries,
Yeah,
tell you the
so
truth.
I wouldn't say let's go word for word at this
Right.
point.
No, I think it's
Kind of
good. You've got to,
kind of setting up what, so first to start up, I think, getting, as you can see, that the neighborhood, or, I mean, right, a big theme of ours is this is the neighborhood. I mean, we're part of the project team, but it's the neighborhood.
yeah. So I would switch the sentence around with the neighborhood residents will meet with the project team to
And
decide.
that's
So
fine.
they're the focus. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Because they're the focus. So that's the point.
And
We're,
that, I totally
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then your neighborhood out, the team will, will host, manage the meeting. Okay. The project team will manage it. Okay, good.
I
All right.
might put a sentence under
Yeah.
task and duration before you start that in addition to the 30 reefs that we will be planting, we will be doing the following also.
Mhm.
So they don't think that we're spending grant money on this portion of it.
That's true. That's a good point. Right.
All right,
Right.
then go ahead and give it to me. I want to stay with the theme that we're planting. Okay, and
Right.
I'm using that on purpose, and I wanted to make sure we educate everybody to use that on purpose. You
Yeah.
know, we got a fire advisory that just came through from AAA because we're so dry. That wind for the last 5 days has dried everything out. So just be careful. You know,
Paul doesn't have that problem. He's 95 degrees and humid right now. So
yeah. Well, yesterday he was 60 and freezing. Yeah. Okay. So Phil, take
yes,
take your time and put that in here, please. You've got a copy of this document.
Yeah, let's
No.
add, edit, each of,
Edit.
add,
Yep.
edit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So
I don't know
I'll-
if you know how to track. If you can't turn on track changes, just turn it in red. All right, and I'll pick it up. But either way,
I'll do something.
okay, that would be appreciated because that's what we have to do. So we
Right.
kind of keep track. And I don't mind being again a gatekeeper and try to keep them straight. So I'll work on that. I just wanted to point out too that when you go to this drive, you're going to have everything from the Grand Canal. You will have a contact list. Let me see if I can do this again. We were sharing here. Stop sharing. I want you to know that you've got all the documents. Share screen. Let's see if I've got it. It's here. Okay, share. And let me see if it'll go back. No, I don't know if this is on my Word instead of, okay. But my point is that you will have the contact list for everybody. All that's up there. You'll have the schedule for all the installs from December all the way through what I've got planned for June. That's in there. So I'm trying to put all the documents. So there'll be 2 folders. It'll be just a general folder with all this other things in it. And then there'll be one called grants. And I've set four folders under grants, one of them being Sarasota County. So that's what I'm trying to do is keep that separated from the rest of the documents. But if you have something, you don't see something that you think I've got, let me know. I'll make sure I'm putting it in there so we can all have access to it. All right. Sorry to interrupt. So what else? You got the startup.
This whole startup is, all right, so your own neighborhood outreach, again,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna overview.
Mhm.
Go up a little bit. Oh,
Okay.
okay, no, I got it. Student,
Volunteer.
I'm making a big deal about the neighborhood volunteers and the student component to it.
Right.
And you'll see kind of a pattern here. And then each of these other tasks also kind of always refers to some documentation and social media. So any of our results, any of our findings, we're documenting them, and we're using social media to get that word out, right?
Right.
And then
All right. Should we ask for, that could be a note test, talk to Tim and Kim about, is there
Sure.
something we want to put in there for them?
that
Okay. So
definitely. Yeah.
just a note, so that should be there to just run it by them.
Yep.
Now, again, I'm kind of projecting on Kim. I haven't given her a chance to breathe. So I have to make sure that she's going to be comfortable.
Right.
But she knows that Tim is planning to do this, and he wants to get together with her. So there's a way that they can meld the students, the high schoolers with the college students.
Yeah.
So,
And then as you'll see, when we get into some further tasks, I've made an assumption that these students are going to have some substantive role here. So
mhm.
again, that's what we need to talk to both Tim and
Right.
Kim.
Right.
So then this last D is really, again, as part of startup right up
Yep.
front. Just making sure that our data inventory is updated for, all of the homes that are in the project site and the control site. And I guess we need to also decide, do
What
we have
that one
two
is.
control sites or do we just have the
I
one?
think we wanted two.
Right.
We said we would go with Tremont because it's close,
Yeah.
but we want something a little further away that is going to be really less populated with and maybe more problems with the water. So meaning somewhere in our Sarasota Sands lower end.
Yeah. So I have a couple ideas on that, which we could,
Okay.
at some point I could show you what I
The other thing about the updated data inventory is this is a chance to complete the inventory for an complete area, so we can see how it works. It's the
Right.
first time we'll be doing something for 12 houses in a row where we have to get all the content. Okay.
Right.
So I think it's a good test for us as well from that standpoint, that is it solid? Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I would, just to move us along, I'd go down to the next.
Yeah.
So installation is pretty straightforward.
Well,
and then-
and here too, you've got, the one thing I wanted is identifying descriptive items. Okay. But how about the water description? That you have.
That's going to be coming up. You'll see it.
Okay. Okay.
This is just basic description of the
Site.
walk environment, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then the install, we're going to go with the install.
Yep. And I'm
Okay.
saying the 30 mini reefs again. We need to
Mhm.
you make a final decision on that number.
Right.
Yeah. And then here's where, so there's a baseline level.
Excellent. Excellent. Good.
This is everything that we had in that form.
Okay. Only thing I wonder about, should we put the Brevis, the red tide thing in there as a potential to collect? That means that we have to get somebody with, maybe Tim can get a microscope,
Yeah. I mean,
I think I'd like to see that in there, talk to Tim about it. You can just put it in after.
Yep.
We have other in the
Yep.
spreadsheet for right now.
Yep.
But my point is that one of the things we want to do is just at least test our water for it.
no, that makes a lot of sense. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Now I put that in there, but now I got to make sure I get confirmation from someone, either Kim or Tim, that it's something they can do, because they need a microscope to be able to do that. It means
Okay.
we have to take a water sample, or they have to take a water sample and actually do that test.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And then the video monitoring, and then I think, Phil, you just, if there's anything we want to elaborate on the video monitoring.
Phil, do we
Right.
have any expectations as to what will show up first in colonization and what comes second? Do you have any kind of expectations
Well,
like
they
that?
get those little fibrous plants that Ryan couldn't identify, and then Dewey, we found those little
I-
tadpole things.
yeah.
And then
Could
the
you
minnows.
my point is make a kind of a list of what your expectations are. So the reason I say that, interestingly enough, when we went, it was David too, that said, I said, boy, is that black gunk is not nice. He said, no, that's good. It's the green gunk that's bad.
Okay, I'm not sure what it is, but I can make a little sentence about that maybe.
So as you see, we're collecting, we're saying we're going to collect this data at each of the docks, right? Both in the test site and in the control sites. Okay, we're going to do that right during the startup. And then you'll see where I'm saying we will do that same level of testing monthly. Now, we have to decide if that's what we want to do. But I think if this is a 1-year project, I say we do it monthly testing, and you'll see there's some quarterly reporting of it. We lost Gene. Yeah. If
At this point, should I break out in song? Oh, what a beautiful morning.
in French.
In French. You know, we had the town where I was born and raised had an annual banana festival because it was the confluence of the Illinois Central coming down from Chicago, going to Miami, and then going to New Orleans. Fulton, Kentucky, where I was born, is the central point for icing the cars full of bananas coming from Central and South America.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're still talking about you. Yeah.
Wow.
but
Interesting.
anyway,
Jean lost her internet connection, and she's putting more quarters in the machine now. So.
oh,
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, so keep going, Paul. I'm interested in this. So what was
no. So, you know, Kathy and I always complained about the intensity of the sun and the humidity. This is where I learned to take a nap anywhere, anytime, for as long as I could stand it. Because after you would mow the yard, you'd be so hot and sweaty with 95% humidity,
oh yeah,
95 degrees.
yeah,
I would find shade
right.
and I would crawl basically around a big root system of an oak tree.
Yeah.
And that's where I take my nap. So, despite all the bad things we say about the weather in Florida, it's the best I've ever seen with humidity and heat. So,
Yeah.
I don't forget back then when I was a kid, we had like 2 air conditioners in the whole house. There were window air conditioners.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I actually kind of prefer Florida in the summer to Northern Virginia, frankly. I think that gray, muggy, hot, August in DC is miserable.
well, the one thing that you will appreciate and you will remember is how dirty it felt.
Right. Right.
You got the heat, the humidity, then you got the dirt, and that's why, as you know, August was the big vacation month.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get out of town.
Yeah.
You ever been in Houston or Galveston in the summer?
No.
Talk about dirty. You literally feel oil.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
So by the way, let's see if I can see it. I have my Washington Nationals.
Oh,
t-shirt.
good for you. I was watching. Did anybody watch the Ken Burns installment on PBS last night? It's on baseball. It's on the 50s.
Oh no, I is it the one that was aired? That whole series that was aired.
Yeah, it was one of the episodes.
I would love to watch that again because that was great. Yeah, I did not see it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. Of all, some of the minutia of the early baseball and all that's very interesting. But the
Right.
50s and 60s, that's where I first
Right.
learned about baseball. And the 60s, the Yankees, of course, and then the Mets, New York
Yeah.
Metropolitans.
Yeah.
But this got into the Dodgers and the Yankees, and the Dodgers and the Giants both moving out of
Right.
New York, and what it did got
Right.
into Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
And one of the things, Willie Mays joined the Giants in Brooklyn,
Right.
and I got to interview him. I got to meet him several times when I
Really?
was working in San Francisco,
Uh-huh.
and I was there for his last 2 years on the
Wow.
Giants.
Uh,
You remember a sportscaster named Lindsey Nelson?
I do.
All right, he was.
Yeah.
I think he was the one who wore the plaid coats and the striped shirts and the
Yes.
plaid pants. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he did the play-by-play for the radio station where I worked, KNBR, and I got to meet him too. In
Cool.
fact, if I looked at the pictures, I've got pictures of all that stuff on the computer somewhere.
Willie Mays, man, you met him. Wow, how cool. That's
Willie Mays was fine, but when he retired from the Giants,
Yeah.
he started doing commercials on radio for Mr. Calculator, except he called it Mr. Calculator. Calculator. Oh, by the way, that photo was taken from the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's the old Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you get a chance, I don't know if you've ever done it before, but there is a great restaurant on the second level just before you take the cars to go to the top. If you get a chance, that is a wonderful place to eat. Not because the food is particularly wonderful,
But
but
the
only
view,
because the view is.
right.
You get
Yeah,
up there at sunset, and it's
yeah, yeah. I've
I
never
saw-
eaten there, but I know what you're talking about.
I saw Willie Mays play at the Giants Stadium in New York. I went
Yeah.
there one time.
That was the
I'm
oh,
back
Hemisphere.
in.
Yeah.
I'm back.
There you
I,
go.
I popped in. It makes me so mad when it does that. Every now and then I guess the towers to blow something,
To the fires.
Maybe. I thought that was interesting. But anyway, all of a sudden I just popped right off.
Yeah.
The other thing,
Uh-oh.
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 Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh.
there's so many people around me that have, I know, but if I fail, I at least have that as a fallover. I got 3 people around me. I can see their internet, I could have grabbed them, but I couldn't get on. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay. So what do you think? Guys, I like what you did, Dave. So just go through here's what I thought I would do. I'll take the documents I have now from Phil and populate the fill-in sheet.
Right.
All right, just to see what it looks like and see where we have holes. And I'll have that out to you by the end of the weekend. So it gives us a chance to see it as a whole document.
Right.
Paul, I'm going to have you be an editor. Okay,
right.
if you wouldn't mind. That way you can just see if you read the question, look at the answer and make sure you feel like we've covered it. Because there's points also. I will circle for you by section the points. So you
Okay.
can make sure we're hitting those content to get those
But,
points.
but
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest
Yes,
if
sir.
you're gonna compile what we're drafting.
Yes, yes.
Why don't you get that back to me and Phil? So the 3 of us, we get kind of that first, just to
Okay.
keep it together. We get our first round, then
Okay.
it go to Paul, because I think we're initially gonna have
Yep.
points
Noise.
internally as the
Yeah.
writers.
Right.
And then Paul's is gonna be an invaluable review, but
Right.
easier, I think, if he gets it after that
No,
step.
that's a great idea. Now, other thing that I wanted to do is you've talked about the fact, what are the instructions? Dave, I want you to think about what are the instructions? I'm going to get this letter drafted, but would you get an idea of in the letter, what are the 3 or 4 points that they need to know, like a takeaway. You can expect this to happen in the beginning. You can expect this to happen in the middle, and towards the end, this. In other words, just so that they're aware of the actions that could happen, right?
You mean the letter to the homeowners?
To the homeowners, just
Yeah.
the ones that are going to the homeowners in that community. So when I draft it, I'll draft it first, look
Right.
at that and make sure it kind of got that laid out for them. So they have a good feel for how it's, because we're asking them to take a more active role. Now,
Yeah.
not everybody's going to want to do it, but some
Sure.
people like Eric could be very heavily wanting
Right.
to do it, you know? So
Right.
I want to make sure though I cover that so there's no surprises for them. Like
Yep.
if a film crew shows up and they say, ah,
Right. Right.
no, yeah.
Right,
I do
right.
that to Dave all the time. I just
No,
call up and say, I'm bringing a film crew with me.
That's great.
So I expect that we'll be doing that a little bit with this group as well.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I was
Uh-oh.
wondering if there's, well, let's see what this first draft looks like. It seems like there's missing
Okay.
some introduction overview kind of statement about what we're trying to do.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly correct. That's why I wanted to
Once
get,
we see the component parts, right, Phil? I mean, I think we'll then be able to,
The opening should be a quick summary.
yeah, exactly. Right.
yeah, well,
wanna-
that's the reason they give us a fill-in PDF. They only want these thumbnails. Now, somehow we have to really make sure that we're getting the picture across, and we'll have to be selective on the videos and articles also that we have. So
Right.
I'll make a list. We've got a lot of them, so I'll make a list of those.
Right.
So we
Probably
have
only
those.
spend 15 minutes looking at this thing in their
Sure.
limited meeting.
Sure,
But
sure.
each group of people will look at things differently. So that's the reason of having that kind of variety. Okay, so Phil, you're going to give me your video.
Yeah,
And so I've
I'm-
got that. I've
I'll
got-
send that to
I-
you.
Give me your updated drafts if you have any
I
updated ones.
just sent
Okay.
that to you.
Okay, and then that'll let me start the population. Now, our target date again is to get this submitted by the 9th, did we say,
We
of
need
June?
signatures. Yeah, we have to figure out who's got to sign off, and we got to get
Right.
a signature.
Well, but when you
And
say
then-
who has to sign off being,
Well,
other
that
words-
gal Leslie or something for the waterway.
right, but that's
person.
my point is that we have to get that to Meg it early so she can start that circulation. So
Right.
we had assumed, she had said, we assumed like June 9th. Wasn't that the date we assumed?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good because I think the 12th is when she was
Right.
asking for it. So for early, that's good.
Right, so I was thinking now, I think 9th is a Wednesday. If you think we should shoot for like the 8th Tuesday, I have no problem with that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Sooner's
so-
better.
Okay, so we'll
'Cause
shoot for
your
June.
internet's going to go down and
Yeah,
screw it all
something
up.
could,
so-
well, something could happen and all the documents are on my Google Drive. But you guys have access to it. So as long as yours is running, we should be able to get 4 people to get to it. Okay, so our target is June 8th. So we'll just have to make sure that we get our review set up. And I'm going to get the board of directors from Siesta Key to sign off and agree to this on Monday, the
Great.
24th of May.
Excellent.
So that's done as well. And Catherine knows that I gave her a list of what I needed written in writing. I'll probably have to craft it for her, but I've given her that. And as I said, I asked for 2 more directors to provide their feedback, of that being Tim, who's the accountant, and then Joyce, who's been also involved. So I think I got that kind of covered and I've taken care of the neighborhood. Okay, so that sounds good to me. I think we got a plan.
I've got one of the 3 bids done. I haven't heard. I got one from Melbourne, Florida. I sent that to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
And I'm waiting on the Underdock Mini Reef Company, which I'm not sure that I couldn't know if they got it that I asked for. And I sent to David at Ocean Habitat, so I'll
Right.
probably get that. So I should have 3 bids.
Great.
Okay,
I'm nervous about the Underdock Mini Reef people because they're the other ones that are installing in the canal at the same
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yep.
So they may not really want to talk to me. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Never-
They may.
I don't know.
I think they may. They're getting them from David, so they may. Okay, what else? So is there anything else, Phil, we need bids on? We're only going
No,
after
we're-
mini
We're
reefs.
going after the planting, so. yeah,
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all we're
it.
going after. So there's nothing else for the
right.
bids.
Make it simple and clean. so.
Right.
Okay. I guess it's in the back of my mind. I've got to also get with Tim, the accounting, and know what I've got in our bank for.
Right.
So I got to understand what we have is in our bank for credit.
We're supposed to hear from the Sarasota Bay Estuary Program at the end of May, so that's
Yeah.
coming up this week, which means Tim and Kim, they might want to do something on that aeration story, because this one won't start until October. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
they might not have any students, but anyhow, they can
that's
think about
good. No, but that would be good. That's a good one to bring up. I don't know if they'll have students for the summer, but this
Right.
gives them an opportunity to get into the canal early to
Right.
see how it works for them. And we could have them also work on inventory while they're doing
Right.
that. So
Right.
that's the fallback. Anytime we get anybody in the water, we give them an inventory sheet
Right.
and go
Right.
for it, I think.
Well,
Okay.
What
All
can,
right.
what can we do to expedite getting one of these testing kits? And how much, and I can't,
That's why I want to see how much money I've got.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So to
Yeah.
me, I could
I'd be
get
willing
something
to
with that.
contribute something towards that too, so.
Yeah, I called, I didn't call, I sent John a letter and
Right.
asked him, gee, I didn't hear when we would hear, is there an idea of what the schedule might be? And he
Right.
wrote back and said, we don't have a schedule right now. It's in the works. Okay.
They spent 3
Okay.
years writing the program up, and then don't have
Yeah.
the finishing touches.
Well, I don't know, just like the estuary program, I don't know what's, what they're, he didn't give us an end date, so I don't know. He remember, Ray from Venice said it took him a while. Remember when we went, he was waiting when they would get back, but they did get their award. So I expect it'll happen. I just don't know when. Okay, so at least I followed up on that. The reason I wanted is that's where our money is for the instrumentation. So I was looking to see when that would, but that's why I'm going to go to Tim and see what we've got for instrumentation.
Right.
Okay, so we can see how much. I think we have close to $3,000, okay, in cash. All right, so that's where we are. I think we're that high, but I want to confirm that we have that.
Yeah,
I had sent, I don't know if I sent everybody, I think I sent Dave an idea that we test for the chemistry that is required for making the water swimmable. And I
Yep.
think residents would
I
love
want to
that.
pass on that right now, Phil. But again, I hate to be a downer, but I want to focus on the juvenile fish life. And I think we've got enough on our plate. Now, if you guys override me, I'll be glad to go
No.
that way.
Let me give you my opinion on that.
Yes, sir.
If you put in anything that's going to sound frivolous,
Yeah.
swimming to me, if I was asking for money, I would say I'm not giving any grant money for them to make the water swimmable. I want to clean it up. I want to do the juvenile fishery. I just think it would be a better approach to convincing somebody that what we're doing is worthwhile. Swimming, to me, I wouldn't put it in there.
Let's skip the swimming.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll see. Phil, you're correct. Once we get moving on this, I see that as being going, but I think that we stay focused where we are. You should see the letters, you guys. That was why I wanted to get you the note. Everyone is just so excited to see the juvenile fish. They have not seen this level of juvenile fish. And the reefs are attracting them, and it's bringing more to the one on Midnight Pass. The guy that we did the Polynesian who's out on he said he can't believe the kids are catching the mullet and throwing them back in. They're sitting on the dock catching mullet and throwing. It's keeping his grandchildren entertained for hours out there. Yeah.
And mullet or mangrove snapper, because mullet
I might
bite
be
anything.
might be mangrove snapper,
Yeah,
but he can't believe how they can catch the fish. He can see the sheephead eating the barnacles. Now
Right.
they're coming up closer and eating the barnacles.
Yeah,
So
that's only a couple of months. That's great.
yeah. So he wrote, his letter is long, and he actually put in his business address and all. So I've given him a note that I want to come by. I'm printing the letter so he can sign it. So
But
he'll be one of my signed copies.
This will be real helpful when the county commissioners read all this.
Right.
Because it's just as long as we get to the county commission level,
Yeah.
then they're going to read all these letters, and that'll really be good, because that becomes public information and the news media could pick up on that too. So,
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. All right, guys, I think I've got my task. Is there
all right.
anything else that
One more
is
thing.
there? Yes, sir.
Update on what I did this week. I spoke at the Sunrise Rotary Club in
Oh, cool.
Venice on
Yep.
Tuesday. It went really well, and Tracy was there. She had some flyers she handed out, and then yesterday I spoke at the Venice Nokomis Rotary Club at the Yacht Club,
Uh-huh.
and they got all excited. So there's talk about the Yacht Club and putting them in. It'll be a real focal point.
Oh,
kind of
that'll
thing.
be great. I love that area.
So, and Tracy's
Yeah.
there, and Tracy's kind of wanting to take over the same role that you're doing for down there. So it all ties together.
And that's
and
wonderful. Good.
and now her daughter, who's a Department of Environmental Protection water tester person
Yeah.
in Lee County, is with the Rotary Kids or something. It's the younger groups of Rotary instead of the
Perfect.
geezers.
Yeah.
And she's all excited. So we may be making a presentation down there, and
Wow.
all tied going
Right.
through Tracy. So
Yeah,
we
you know
don't have
what,
to worry about it.
Phil, I'm going to have you do the one that I scheduled up here for the Sarasota Rotary. Okay, so that is going to
okay.
be, that's going to be the 21st of June, Monday at 5 o'clock. So I'll send you a note on that.
Give me all the
Yeah.
info on that.
Yeah, I
and
will.
I'll let Tracy know. Maybe she'll come up.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be good. Get me off
It's,
the hook.
21st.
Yeah, 21st at like 5:30. I'll send you the note. And it's at the AMC bowling alley. You know where that is, behind Trader Joe's? No, not behind Trader Joe's. Let's see, it's
Oh.
behind the Copenhagen Furniture Company, Outback Steakhouse.
Oh, yeah.
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 So that's where they have but Phil, the problem we're going to have is they don't have internet connection. So we'll have to figure out how we do this. You know, it has to be.
I don't need internet. I can just run it off of a hard drive. And Tracy has a projector and a screen and a little
Good.
speaker thing. So we're
Perfect.
all set if she
All
can
right.
make that.
Right. So that would be
Oh.
good.
And while you're in the area, stop by the Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
just on the left. It's a great place.
Yeah, I do like that. It's a nice little spot.
This is the 21st at 5.
21st at 5:30, I believe. Let me just check my calendar. I have 5 p.m. Yep, 5 p.m.
And
Well,
it's,
I think it actually starts at 5:30, but I put 5 p.m. so I could set up.
Gotta get there early, right?
Yep.
And it's Sarasota Rotary. Is that who it is?
Yes.
Or is this...
Yep, Sarasota Rotary.
All right, send me the info on it, and I'll
I
give it
will.
to Tracy. And
And this is I think her name is Belinda. This is the person that Tracy gave me a contact for. The problem I have is that, of course, she wants me to be a member. You know, she'll get behind the project if I'm a member. I'm not getting any membership.
it ends up being hundreds of dollars a quarter. to be
400.
member. Yeah. It's
No,
like,
thank you.
ooh. And you
But
got to go every week. and all this
I'm not
crap,
into that. I got enough on my plate.
Gene,
Yes, sir.
Look for a mailing to the Siesta Key Association sometime next week. I just mailed it today.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, Paul. Paul's
Yeah.
giving a contribution to our cause.
Hey, that
Yeah.
hot weather's getting to him. I like it.
All right, guys. So that's it for today. All right. I
All
think we
right.
got our codes set. You take care.
All
Yeah,
right.
Take
Okay.
care.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.